See, what is colligative property? The property which depends on the number of particles in the solution. Secondary cells are the ones which can be recharged and reused over and over again. ತುಂಬ ಕೇರ್ಫುಲ್ ಆಗಿ ಓದಬೇಕು ಕ್ವೆಶನ್. ಅದು ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಇದೆಯಾ ಅಂತ ಕೇಳ್ತಾರೆ, ಕೆಲವೊಂದ್ಸಲ ಇನ್ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ನ ಟಿಕ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. ಸೊ ಇಟ್ಸ್ ವೆರಿ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಟು ರೀಡ್ ದಿ ಕ್ವೆಶನ್. Hello my dear students, I am Priyanka Rajaram from Vidyashram PU College, Temple of Excellence. Today I shall solve Karnataka CET 2016 chemistry question paper for you all. So let's see the first question. The half-life period of a first order reaction is 60 minutes. What percentage will be left over after 240 minutes? It is very important to understand the question. So what is given in the question? Half-life period of first order reaction, that is T half is 60 minutes they have given, and what percentage will be left over after 240 minutes is what they are asking. Okay, so how do we solve this? Before I go to the solution, we'll see the options. Option A 6.25%, option B 4.25%, option C 5%, option D 6%. So there is no much hint which we are getting from the options, but of course it's a very easy problem to be solved. How do we solve this? So we know that T half is 60 minutes. So amount left over after 240 minutes. We'll find out number of half-lives. That is time 240 minutes is taken up and half-life is 60 minutes. So you will get it as 4. So if I consider initial concentration is 100%, okay. First half-life I have 50% left. Second half-life I'll have 25% left. Third half-life I'll have 12.5% left, and the fourth half-life it will be 6.25% left. So the answer is 6.25, or there is one more method to solve. The amount left over after 240 minutes, after you get the number of half-lives, what are you supposed to do? Initial concentration is 100 if we have taken, then 2 to the power n, where n is number of half-lives, that is 100 divided by 16 you will get, that is 2 to the power 4 is 16. If you solve this, again you will get it as 6.25. So there are two methods to get to this answer. So option A is the correct answer. Okay, next question. We'll see the second question. Which of the following is not a colligative property? They are asking which of the following is not a colligative property. We'll read the options. Option A osmotic pressure, option B optical activity, option C elevation in boiling point, option D depression in freezing point. See, what is colligative property? The property which depends on the number of particles in the solution. We have learnt elevation in boiling point, depression in freezing point, osmotic pressure. All the three we have learnt. Which we didn't learn under colligative property, that is optical activity. So this is not a colligative property. Optical activity of any of the compound depends on the structure and whether they can turn the plane polarized light towards the clockwise direction or anti-clockwise direction. Depending on that, we can tell whether it is dextro-rotatory compound or levo-rotatory compound. So it doesn't depend on the number of particles. Okay, so optical activity is the correct answer here. Next one, the contribution of particle at the edge center to a particular unit cell is. Okay, now a cube, if you take one edge, if you consider this particular edge, one edge can be shared by 4 unit cells. So if there is a particle in the center of the edge, it will be shared by 4 unit cell, and the contribution of this particle to 1 unit cell is equal to 1 by 4. That means this one particle will give its contribution for every unit cell, that is 1 by 4. Okay. So answer is option D, 1 by 4. Next question. When an electrolyte is dissociated in solution, the Van 't Hoff factor is. So if dissociation is taking place, they are asking us what happens to the Van 't Hoff factor. Options we'll see. It will be greater than 1, it will be lesser than 1, it will be equal to 0, or it will be equal to 1. Van 't Hoff factor when it is greater than 1, okay, it is dissociation, or dissociation is occurring. When it is less than 1, then association is taking place. Okay, so answer is for dissociation. So option A is the correct answer. Next question. Which of the following is incorrect in a galvanic cell? So I'll read the options for you all. Oxidation occurs at anode, reduction occurs at cathode, the electrode at which electron is gained is called as cathode, the electrode at which electron is lost is called cathode. Now if you are getting confused to remember about oxidation and reduction which is happening in the galvanic cell, just remember this. An ox went after a red cat. Okay, anode, oxidation takes place, reduction takes place at cathode. So it's very easy to remember. At anode, oxidation takes place, red cat, reduction takes place at cathode. Okay, so this is an easy method to remember. What is oxidation to remember? If you want any trick, just remember the word Leo. Loss of electron is oxidation. So at anode what is happening? Loss of electron is happening. So at cathode what should happen? Opposite, gaining of electron should happen. Correct? So based on this, which is the one which is incorrect, they are asking us. I'll read the options again. Oxidation occurs at anode, this is correct. Reduction occurs at cathode, this is also correct. Electrons are gained is called as cathode, correct. Gaining of electrons happens at cathode. So obviously the answer should be option D. We'll read, the electrode at which the electrons are lost is called cathode. No, this is not lost, it should be gained. Or the electrode at which electrons are lost is called as anode agbeku. Okay, so either this should be changed to gained or this should be anode. Okay, so I hope you have understood. Question number 5. Sixth one, the secondary cell is one that can be recharged. First option. Second, can be recharged by passing current through it in same direction. Option C, can be recharged by passing current through it in opposite direction. Cannot be recharged. Secondary cell is the one which can be recharged, okay, but the current should be passed in opposite direction. Okay, so if you choose this without knowing option B and C, or without reading this option at all, then you will get the wrong answer. Secondary cells are the ones which can be recharged and reused over and over again, but current should be passed through it in opposite direction. So can be recharged by passing the current through it in opposite direction is the correct answer. Okay. Next one, osmotic pressure of a solution can be increased by increasing the temperature of the solution, decreasing the temperature of the solution, increasing the volume of the vessel and diluting the solution. Now here, if you take the osmotic pressure formula, pi is equal to CRT, or from the formula you get to know it is directly proportional to temperature. So if you want to increase osmotic pressure, then temperature also should be increased. So increase the temperature of the solution. So what they are asking, osmotic pressure of the solution can be increased by increasing the temperature of the solution is the correct answer. Okay. So I hope you have understood. Next one. The amount of current in Faraday is required for reduction of 1 mole of Cr2O7 2- ion to Cr plus 3 is 1 Faraday, 2 Faraday, 6 Faraday or 4 Faraday. For this one, if you just write the equation and get its oxidation number, you will get to know the answer. Cr2O7 2- is giving Cr plus 3. If I calculate the oxidation number of chromium, it is plus 6. Here it is plus 3. So the change in oxidation number is by 3 units. Correct? But this 3 units is for 1 chromium ion. How many we have? We have 2 here. So I need to balance over here also as 2. Okay. So for 1 mole of Cr2O7 minus to undergo reduction, we require 3 into 2 because 2 Cr atoms are there in Cr2O7 2-. So 3 2s are how many units? 6 units, or 6 electrons is required. So what will happen here? We require 6 Faraday current to be passed. Okay. So the answer is option C, 6 Faraday. Okay. Next question. For a chemical reaction Ma giving Xb, the rate law is R is equal to K A to the power 2. If the concentration of A is doubled, the reaction rate will be. Now see, this equation is not required. They have given me the rate law. Rate law is K into A to the power 2. That means it's a second order reaction. Correct? Now what have they given us? They have told that A is doubled. So we'll see A is doubled, 2A. Okay. So if I square this, what I will get? I'll get it as 4A square. So how many times it will increase? It will increase by 4 times. So what is the answer? Doubled, quadrupled, increased by 8 times, unchanged. So it will be quadrupled. Quadrupled means it will be increased by 4 times. So I hope you have understood this problem. Next one, Schottky defect in a crystal is observed when unequal number of cations and anions are missing from the lattice, equal number of cations and anions are missing from the lattice, an ion leaves its normal site and occupies the interstitial site, no ion is missing from the lattice site. So if you know what is Schottky defect, it is the direct answer. Schottky defect means equal number of cations as well as anions are missing from its lattice site. Correct? So which is the correct answer? Equal number of cations and anions are missing from the lattice site. So it is option B. It cannot be option A because unequal number anta kottidare illi. Option C kuda agala because this is Frenkel defect. No ions is missing anta helidre, there is no defect at all. That is especially there is no Schottky defect. Okay. Next question. 3A plus 2B, rate of the reaction in terms of this. In terms of this, you have to tell the rate of the reaction. Before I look into all of these options, it's better I write it off. Okay. And then we can take the correct answer. So what is it? 3A minus 1 by 3 dA by dt is equal to 1 by 2, that is plus 1 by 2 dV by dt. Now I want in terms of this, so I'll take this on the other side. So minus 2 by 3 dA by dt is equal to plus dV by dt. So answer is minus 2 by 3. So which is the correct answer? Minus 2 by 3 dA by dt. Option B is the correct answer. So I hope you have understood this. Next question. The activation energy of the chemical reaction can be determined by evaluating the rate constant at two different temperature, changing the concentration of reactants, evaluating the concentration of reactant at two different temperatures. Last one, evaluating the rate constant at standard temperature. Now, activation energy formula if I write here, log K2 by K1 is equal to EA by 2.303 or T2 minus T1 by T1 T2. Okay. So, evaluating the rate constant at two different temperatures, I can get activation energy. So, option A it is correct. See, two different temperatures we are taking for the same reaction. Okay. Then we can evaluate the activation energy. Also, not only in this formula, directly if you take K is equal to A into e to the power minus EA by RT, that is, you can also evaluate the activation energy just at standard temperature. Okay. So, even this also can be considered as the correct answer. So, there are two correct answers here, that is A and D. Okay. When such questions are there where there is multiple answers are there, then any one of them if you would have ticked also, you will get your marks. Okay. So, that's about question number 12. 13th one, which of the following statement is incorrect with respect, again incorrect. Okay, ತುಂಬಾ ಕೇರ್ಫುಲ್ ಆಗಿ ಓದಬೇಕು ಕ್ವೆಶ್ಚನ್. ಅದು ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಇದೆಯಾ ಅಂತ ಕೇಳ್ತಾರೆ, ಕೆಲವೊಂದ್ಸಲ ಇನ್ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ನ ಟಿಕ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. ಸೊ ಇಟ್ಸ್ ವೆರಿ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಟು read the question. So incorrect with respect to what? Physis option. Okay, so we'll read the option. The forces involved are van der Waals forces. This is correct. More easily liquefiable gas are adsorbed easily. Even this is correct. Under high pressure, it results into multimolecular layers on the adsorbent surface. Even this is absolutely correct for physis option. They are asking me incorrect statement, so it has to be D. Delta H adsorption is low and positive anta kottidare. So it positive alla, it has to be negative. Delta H adsorption is always an exothermic reaction. It is negative. It is low, but here still it is negative only, it's not positive. Okay, so option D is the incorrect statement about physis option. Next one, sulfur sol contains option A discrete sulfur atoms, B discrete sulfur molecules, option C large aggregate of sulfur molecules, D water dispersed in solid sulfur. So what is sulfur sol? Sulfur sol are large aggregates of sulfur molecules. S8 is the sulfur molecule. Okay, it's a molecule and many molecules come together and they aggregate to come to the range of a colloidal solution. So they have to have a particular size of a particle. Only then it can be called as a colloidal solution. So many particles or many molecules of sulfur will aggregate together to come to the particle size in the range of colloidal solution. Okay, so it's option C. Next one, reaction in zeolite catalyst depends on A pores, B apertures, size of the cavity, all of these. So if you don't know the meaning of apertures, you might get stuck. Okay, but as option A and option C is something what you have learnt only, then you might even have guessed that all of this is correct, and actually all of this is correct, because apertures means any gap or hole is also called as apertures. So pores, apertures and size of the cavity. So all of this are correct for this question. So reaction in zeolite catalyst depends on all of the three. Fine. So that's about question number 15. We'll see the next question. IUPAC name of the compound. Even if before we see the options, we can directly name this off and then check out which is the correct option. Okay. So we'll see here, there is a double bond and here this is a carbon atom, this is one carbon atom, this is also a carbon atom. So we need to get the parent chain first. From here if I number 1, 2, 3, 4, this gets the least number, and carbon double bond you will get it second carbon atom itself. So we'll start numbering from here. Anyways it is 2. What is the least number for the carbon double bond? So 1, 2, 3, 4. So it is 1 bromo, 2 butene, okay, or but2ene. So 1 bromo, but2ene. The others are wrong. It is 2 bromo, 2 butene. Then we have bromo butene, 1 bromo, but3ene they have given. So it is wrong. Okay. Next question. Replacement of chlorine of chlorobenzene to give phenol requires drastic condition, but chlorine of 2,4 dinitrochlorobenzene is readily replaced. This is because option A, NO2 group makes the ring electron rich at ortho and para position. Option B, NO2 group withdraws electron from meta position. Option C, NO2 donates electron at meta position. Option D, NO2 withdraws electron from ortho and para position. See, from options what you get to know is, you have to give the reasoning with respect to NO2 group. So we'll see what exactly is the reason. First, replacement of chlorine in chlorobenzene. What they are telling is, chlorine replacement from chlorobenzene is very difficult to get a phenol from this. That is, chlorine has to be replaced with OH group. We need drastic condition. Whereas, if we take in second ortho position and in para position, that is 2,4 dinitrochlorobenzene if we have, in this molecule I can replace chlorine very easily to OH group. Why? What is the reason? We have two NO2 groups, that is one in ortho position and the other one is in para position. So you see the options, NO2 donates electron at meta position. This is completely wrong because it is meta position anta kottidare, illu meta position anta kottidare. We don't have NO2 at meta position at all. So your answer should be either A or D. We'll see NO2 group makes the ring electron rich at ortho and para position. NO2 group, that is, withdraws electron from ortho and para position. What is the nature of NO2 group? It is withdrawing nature. So it is an electron withdrawing group. Correct? NO2 group. So the reaction becomes easy because NO2 withdraws electron from ortho and para position. So if you know the nature of NO2 groups and where exactly it's present, you can take the correct answer even if you didn't know the exact reasoning before you read this question. Okay. So next question. In the reaction, ethanol with PCl5 gives X, X with alcoholic KOH gives Y, Y with H2SO4 room temperature and H2O when heated gives Z. So here there is some problem with the question itself. I'll tell you what it is. You have to find out what is the product Z. So I'll try to write the reaction. Ethanol is C2H5OH with PCl5. Okay. This is in haloalkanes, haloarenes. We are learning the preparation. So it is C2H5Cl with alcoholic KOH. Elimination reaction will take place. So you will get CH2 double bond CH2. Correct? No? Alcoholic KOH elimination. From one carbon atom hydrogen, from one carbon atom chlorine is removed and a double bond you will get ET. Now next one you see, they've given H2SO4, room temperature antanu kottidare, heated antanu kottidare. So here lies the issue. Acid with water is acid hydrolysis, correct? Acid hydrolysis of ethene will give alcohol only, we know that. But temperature ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕ್ವೆಶನ್ ರಾಂಗ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ರೂಮ್ ಟೆಂಪರೇಚರ್ ಅಂತಾನು ಕೊಟ್ಟು ಆಮೇಲೆ ಮತ್ತೆ ಹೀಟಿಂಗ್ ಅಂತಾನು ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ದೇ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಗಿವನ್ ಬೋತ್ ರೂಮ್ ಟೆಂಪರೇಚರ್ ಆಸ್ ವೆಲ್ as heating. Okay, so here it is just acid hydrolysis, okay, of ethene. We are learning the full mechanism itself, isn't it? Acid hydrolysis of ethene, what you are going to get? It is ethanol only again. So you will get CH3 CH2OH, and the answer should be this one. All the other answer, here they have given ethene, here they have given an ether, and here acid group is getting added up. Okay, only here you are getting an alcohol and CH3 CH2OH, correct is it? Okay, so this should have been the answer, but of course it is a grace marks question for you all. Why? Because of the mistake in the question. Okay, but if that mistake wouldn't have been there, then the answer would have been D. Okay, so that is about question number 18. Next, 19. Which of the following compound is most acidic? So which is the one which is most acidic, we have to know. In the first one, Cl CH2 CH2OH, it contains an OH group and a chlorine group. Benzene ring with OH, this is phenol. And here you have orthonitrophenol. Nitro group is an electron withdrawing group. And here you have a cresol, but CH3 group is electron donating group. Okay, now if you see which is most acidic, when electron withdrawing group is present, it increases the acidic character. Only here there is electron withdrawing group. Phenol is also less acidic, this also is very less acidic. There you don't have a benzene ring, there is no resonance at all, so it will be obviously the least one. Option is option C, which is the correct answer. Okay, next question. Benzene carbaldehyde is reacted with concentrated NaOH solution to give a product A and B. Product A can be used as food preservative and the product B is an aromatic hydroxy compound where OH group is linked to sp3 hybridized carbon atom next to benzene ring. The product A and B are. Now see, first statement ನೀವು ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಓದಿದ್ರೆ ಉಳಿದಿರೋದು ನಿಮ್ಮ ಪ್ರಾಡಕ್ಟ್ಸ್ ನೋಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಆಮೇಲೆ ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿದೆಯಾ ಅಂತ ನೋಡ್ಕೋಬಹುದು. Okay, first you read the question. Benzene carbaldehyde is reacted with concentrated NaOH solution to give product A and B. Now what is benzene carbaldehyde, you have to know, and then with concentrated NaOH what is the reaction it can give. We'll also see the option and see whether we'll get some hints. Okay, sodium benzoate and phenol, sodium benzoate phenyl methanol, sodium benzoate and cresol, sodium benzoate and picric acid. So option A to D, all A, B, C, D ಅಲ್ಲಿ first product A ಏನಂತ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ? Sodium benzoate. So A should be sodium benzoate. Now you are supposed to find out what is B. Okay, so benzene carbaldehyde means it is benzaldehyde with concentrated NaOH solution. If you do, in which you are getting sodium benzoate andre COO minus Na plus, idu sodium benzoate, then obviously it should be Canizaro's reaction. Okay, so what will be the other product in Canizaro's reaction? It is benzene ring with CH2 group and OH group. Now read the question and see. The product A can be used as food preservative, correct alva? Sodium benzoate is a food preservative. Then ಪ್ರಾಡಕ್ಟ್ ಬಿ ಇಸ್ ಆರೋಮ್ಯಾಟಿಕ್ ಹೈಡ್ರಾಕ್ಸಿ ಕಾಂಪೌಂಡ್, ಹೈಡ್ರಾಕ್ಸಿ ಆರೋಮ್ಯಾಟಿಕ್ ಇದೆಯಾ? where OH group is linked to sp3 hybridized carbon atom next to benzene ring. If benzene ring OH is attached to sp3 hybridized carbon atom. So what is the name of this now? Whether it is phenol? No. Whether it is cresol? No. Whether it is picric acid? No. So it should be phenyl methanol. It is phenyl methanol. Okay, so I hope you have understood. It is simple Cannizzaro reaction, but twist to turn ಮಾಡಿ ಬೇರೆ ತರ question ಕೇಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಅಷ್ಟೇ. Okay.